1980 was a huge year for car movies, and Smokey and the Bandit 2 is one of the biggest. It featured cars, crashes, jumps, Jackie Gleason in 3 roles, and a trip hauling an elephant from Florida to Texas. But there are probably a few things about the movie that would surprise you. Here's 7 things you might not know about Smokey and the Bandit 2. Number 1. The original Smokey and the Bandit was a surprise runaway hit and was the second biggest grossing movie in 1977 behind Star Wars. As a result, the production rang up every invoice it could for the sequel and scored a $17 million budget, about 7 times that of the original movie. Number 2. Despite almost universally horrible reviews, Smokey and the Bandit 2 made money. A lot of money. Around $66 million worth, making it the 8th top grossing movie of the year. It made $10.8 million in its opening weekend, more than double The Empire Strikes Back.
That's not true. That's impossible.
Number 3. For 1980, the Bandit's car was still a Trans Am, but instead of the killer 6.6-liter Pontiac, the fuel crisis choked out the Bandit's performance. The car he drove in 1980 was a 4.9-liter turbo Trans Am with 210 horsepower, good for a leisurely 16.7-second quarter mile at just 87 miles an hour. Its top speed was 116. Bad times for the Bandit. Number 4. The Snowman got a new rig in 1982. The 1974 Kenworth W900 he drove in the first movie was replaced with a 1980 GMC General. Number 5. General Motors, and specifically Pontiac, owned Smokey and the Bandit 2. Its cars were all over the place, with a Pontiac Bonneville for Sheriff Buford T. Justice and a Grand Le Mans for his Canadian Mountie cousin, Reginald Van Justice.
Sergeant Reginald Van Justice reporting for duty.
Ain't that nice?
Pontiac isn't as remembered as Ford or Chevy for building police cars, but Pontiac did offer police package Le Mans cars called Enforcers in the 1970s, used by local and some state police departments. Number 6. Pretty consistently, older Pontiac Bonnevilles stand in for Sheriff Justice's brand new 1980 Bonneville. In one scene, Mean Joe Green turns Sheriff Justice's Bonneville over. In an instant, it changes from a brand new 1980 Bonneville to a 1977 Bonneville. When the Snowman's GMC plows into it, it's a 1976. And when it gets folded in half, it's a 1971. Number 7. Stuntman Gary Davis jumped this 1974 Dodge Monaco for the roundup sequence. He set a long-standing world record of 163 feet for a car powered by its own engine. Davis was injured during the stunt when he compressed a vertebrae during the hard landing. Well, that's it for 7 things you might not know about Smokey and the Bandit 2. Stay tuned to Best Ride for more cool car stuff.
Shut up, Junior. I'm thinking.